Hey there, Cheese Meisters, and welcome back to the Peach Pod After Dark. I'm Jeff, and ever gone 1 week without a rationalization? Joining me on the other end of the internet, my host.
I'm Leslie, and sometimes I feel like I'm getting a little frosty myself.
Frosty. Who was Frosty? I don't even remember who was filling Frosty.
That was, I believe, Meg's character.
Oh,
Meg,
yeah.
the name is,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she's played by Mary Kay Place.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Stepping on my part where I tell people who people are and shit.
I'm so sorry.
Jeez. Man, I thought we had defined roles up in this thing.
I just really wanted to show off that I know people other than the main two.
Okay. Okay. Well, now I want to know who you think the main two are. But let's first, um, this week, Cheese Meisters, we are talking about The Big Chill, the 1983 If Some of Us Slept with Each Other, Can We Go Back to College masterpiece.
Yeah.
Uh, Written by Lawrence Kasdan and Barbara Benedict, directed by Lawrence Kasdan, starring Tom Berenger as Sam, Glenn Close as Sarah, Jeff Goldblum as Michael, William Hurt as Nick, Kevin Kline as Harold, the aforementioned Mary Kay Place as Meg, Meg Tilly as Chloe, and JoBeth Williams as Karen. We are watching this in conjunction with Season 5, Episode 4, Life After Death. And our spelling connection is, of course, Kevin Kline, who was in Soap Dish, but also Jeff Goldblum was in an episode of Starsky and Hutch.
What do you know?
Yeah, how about that? So now we have, like, the world of Goldblum has opened up to us in
Oh
our
boy.
spelling pursuits. Wait a minute. Is that Goldblum shade?
Yes, I don't get it.
You don't like Jeff Goldblum? Interesting to me. Okay,
No,
tell me. Let's
it's
start off with that.
it's not that I don't like him. I don't know. He doesn't do it for me like everyone else. You
Okay.
know, listen, this man, I can watch him and be like, okay. And sometimes I can appreciate his mannerisms and his quirks, and other times I'm just like,
Oh,
I
oh,
I know.
oh,
Just his
oh.
hands, my boy. I think that was
I
what they
love
did on
Jeff
Conan.
Goldblum.
They just said my boy. I think I enjoy when I know I'm just watching him like in interviews or something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'll just say it, as a musical theater nerd, I don't appreciate his presence in Wicked.
Okay.
I don't appreciate any non-singer's presence in Wicked. I'll leave it at that.
Oh, all right. Well, sorry, Jeff Goldblum. Leslie's mean. Um,
I think
I
he'll
don't
be
know what to
okay.
yeah, I don't know. I love you, Jeff Goldblum, and not just because your name's Jeff. Although
I knew it.
I'm not going to pretend that doesn't play a small part. But not all Jeffs are great. But
No.
some of us are pretty fucking awesome. Is all I'm saying. This movie, Cheese Meisters, is a 69% on Rotten Tomatoes and the 77% on the Popometer. So it's fresh, but it's closer to Rotten, and the people like it more than the critics did. So I think that's kind of interesting. But it was nominated for 3 Academy Awards. It was nominated for Best Picture. Glenn Close was nominated for Supporting Actress, and it was nominated for Best Writing, which is
I support all these.
interesting. Okay. What was, because this is the first time you saw this movie, what was your relationship to it before? Did you know anything about it?
I didn't know the name, but there is an episode of Dawson's Creek called A Weekend in the Country, wherein they're opening
Okay.
up the Potter B&B, and it starts with Dawson, Pacey, and Joey having a movie night, and it's the kitchen scene, and of course they're being all cynical and like, do people even dance in the kitchen? And Dawson said, I watched this morning. He said verbatim what you said, which was like, this is like major baby boomer stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't say it like Dawson right now.
Sure.
But affirmed what you had said to me, which is this is tantamount to the boomers.
It is catnip for boomers. And I think there's good reasons for it. But So you knew, like, you had seen Dawson take a shit on the kitchen scene, or the people in the Dawson.
Yeah,
Um,
Joey. Never Dawson, but Joey.
no, yeah. Um, but beyond that, you didn't really know what the story was. You didn't have any impression of it. Okay. I've seen this movie once, maybe twice, but probably just the once. Um, and it falls into the category of movies I felt like I should probably see because I'd heard it was good.
Yeah.
One of those kind of deals. Um, so, and I didn't remember a ton of plot. And I think that's because there isn't a ton of plot, but I, I, I had a pretty solid connection with the vibe of the thing. Like I I was correct in my memory of the gist of it.
Mm.
So, but more interestingly to me is that this landed for you.
Oh my God. It it really did. I mean,
Tell me about the landing.
so remember how when we watched Dazed and Confused, we discussed the feeling of nostalgia for a thing we've never
Yeah.
experienced?
Uh huh.
I had that again with this.
Did you? Okay.
I really did in an odd way. And there were a lot of weird things because the security porn came up for me again because I'm just
Mm,
watching this whole group of friends, which envy moment number one. I'm like, oh my God, a whole group of friends that all want to hang out together. And you have a house that you can house them. That's amazing. What is
right.
that?
Sure. Sure.
Any other year might not be focusing on the house part of it.
Fair. Totally fair.
Anyway, but I think I've mentioned it before on here. I'm a big fan of ensemble pieces,
Mm-hmm.
anything about friendship. And, like, you know, it's going to sound dark and sad to say, but I don't care. I'm really interested in themes of death and suicide. I think those are
Mm,
fascinating to explore. And granted, it doesn't go too in depth with it, but I think it kind of takes a more realistic look at it from for boomers and for Hollywood at the time. I don't know. I was really fascinated with the discussions they were having and the
mm-hmm.
weaving in and out of, we want to talk about this, but we don't want to talk about it. Remember the good old days? I'm fine being away from the good old days. Like, it was so interesting. And
Mm-hmm.
I know I I read a little bit of Roger Ebert's critique of it, saying that he felt there was no payoff, and I was like, I disagree completely.
Okay.
I felt just fine in the end. Like,
Okay.
I knew people were going to try and keep in touch, and I also knew sometimes you just, I mean, it's like the song says, like, if you try, sometimes you just might find you get what you need.
Uh
And
huh.
I think everyone in this group got what they needed from this weekend, other than Jeff Goldblum,
Interesting.
who didn't get laid, um,
Mm,
with Meg, Chloe. But I don't know. I really enjoyed it. It hit for me.
okay. The reason I reacted to the nostalgia thing is, like, here's hmm, okay, it's hard for me to sort of get my head around this thought.
Okay.
I'm surprised you felt nostalgia more than direct identification,
Oh,
because uh like, this movie it's boomer catnip, but it's boomer catnip for two reasons. One, the soundtrack
yeah.
is 100% the soundtrack of the boomer teenage years, which is what this movie is focused on through the prism of the boomer mid 30s.
Mm.
Um, and it's um, it's boomer catnip in that when it came out, and it because they're boomers, the boomers love to navel gaze. They're real interested in their own mythology.
Yeah.
And this movie is a it's it's a seminal piece of that boomer self-referential nostalgia. Um and so as such, it's a very boomer piece. But the nostalgia piece that breaks, where I didn't expect you to feel nostalgia, where I expected you to feel direct connection, is because you're basically the same age as the characters. So in a life cycle, you are at the point where they were going through these things. And it doesn't matter. I expected it not to matter that it was 1983. I expected it to matter more that they were in their mid 30s, reflecting back on their college
It
relationships.
matters.
The
I
1983 part?
I did not I did not feel their age. Like I did think
Interesting.
about that. I did
Uh-huh.
think about how like I'm pretty sure I'm their age.
Yeah.
And it wasn't computing in my brain just because I mean I was watching clips earlier trying to find the character that I related to most, but honestly, like there would be snippets. Like I'm probably in at least if you want to go by like in friend group or something, I'm probably most like Nick because he's out here like I mean I'm with someone, but like he's out here unmarried and kind of waxing poetic about the harsh realities of life and death, and
Mm-hmm.
other friends don't always appreciate it or they're kind of like uh, um I don't know. But then also, I really liked Karen's monologue, where even though I don't relate to this part, it is definitely, it's funny. Her monologue about being okay that she chose kids over her writing and she's fine
Yeah.
and all of that. And I'm like, not like without explicitly knowing this, that is that's very much why I wanted to focus my adulthood on my career
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't want to have any regrets.
Sure.
And guess what? I have regrets either way.
Yeah.
um
Sure.
not about putting the things off that I put off, that's fine, but like you're gonna have regrets either way. And so like it's just interesting how that monologue still landed.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting to me. Okay. Um, we're 13 minutes in. Here's what happens in this movie, Cheesemeisters. Um, Kevin Costner off screen kills himself. You see his shin, but you see his shins getting some socks pulled on him. That's about
Belt
it.
buckled.
Yeah. But like the only Costner flesh I think is that those shins right up front.
Oh, not the
Um,
wrist.
oh, that's right, the wrist, his hands. Those are his hands. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, so he's their friend, their college friend Alex, and he kills himself while staying in their house. Um, there being Harold and Sarah, Kevin Kline and Glenn Close. Um, one of their houses. He's staying there with his girlfriend Chloe, and because they are successful, they have like a bunch of like running shoe stores, and their business is doing pretty well, and they're getting ready to sell it. Although insider trading, don't buy all the stock I just told you to buy.
Oh my
Jesus
god.
Christ, Harold. You're gonna fuck this up for everybody. You're gonna Brandon threesome this thing, Harold, if you don't shut up a little bit. Um, so like the movie starts out with him giving his kid a bath, and his kid is singing "Joy to the World," not the religious version, but the um,
Jeremiah was a
yeah, the
bullfrog.
Three Dog Night version, the
I love
really stupid
that.
song version. It's a dumb song.
Hey,
It is.
it's
It's a
fun.
it's fun, but it's a dumb song. He's a fucking
Whatever.
bullfrog. Um, anyway, little kid singing it, getting his bath. And in the background, you know what it reminded me of? The background, It reminded, I can't believe this, but because it's the bathroom and the bedroom and the telephone, do you know what I'm thinking of?
Kramer versus Kramer.
Frantic,
Oh shit!
right?
What a
When Harrison
connection!
Ford is in the shower and his wife answers the phone and you can't hear what she's hearing, but you see her reacting to it. And
Yeah,
like, it's the same deal. Um, but she comes and she tells him the news she was just told, which is that their friend Alex has killed himself. Um, and then you see everyone else in their peer group um, either learning this information or um, gathering themselves to come to town.
yeah.
And and you see them all processing. I guess a lot of them are getting the information because there's a lot of reaction shots and they all
You
react slightly differently.
you never hear it said. That's what I
Right.
liked about it because you just see her face looking at
Mm-hmm.
him and you know everything you need to know. And yeah, for the whole while Marvin Gaye is singing, you just see them all processing this horrible
Yeah.
news that
Hearing
they've
it,
lost
like,
someone.
I mean, kind of literally hearing it through the grapevine. Um, it's a little, I mean, if, look, if I heard it through the grapevine by Marvin Gaye wasn't such a fucking amazing song, it would be a little too on the nose. But Jesus Christ, that song is so fucking good.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, we'll talk about the music later. But they all end up coming to the funeral, and then they all end up staying together at Harold and Sarah's house, which I think is the same fucking house where he killed himself.
Okay,
I couldn't 100% tell
I
that.
I couldn't really tell either. I got really confused about like the first 15 minutes. I was really hung up on the who is everyone?
Sure.
Where was this? This was in your
Mm,
house? The house you're
yeah,
staying in right now? No, you have another house? What? I
I
think
know.
I think yeah, I don't really know. And it I really had to just let it all go and be like, it's not important.
It's kind of not. It feels like it should be. Like like if we were just hanging out in the house where your friend killed. Are you guys going to shower in there? Like
No, I cleaned it
ew.
up.
Right. That was so funny.
I
Um,
know. I have to say, she's really funny in this. She made me feel kind of bad about myself, but she was really good at this.
she was funny. Meg Tilly was. They were all. Here's the
They
thing.
were all good.
They were all really, really good, and they are all generational talents.
Yeah.
You know, and being caught early in their rise, they're all. This is like early peak for every one of these actors.
Wow.
You know, like Berenger, Glenn Close, Goldblum, William Hurt, Kevin Kline, they all had fucking the 80s were huge for those guys.
Yeah.
And it's not the first, I don't think it's like the breakthrough for any of them where it's like the first thing they did. But it's all within a couple of years.
Yeah.
And so that's another way that this is a boomer thing is that like just the people in it were uh so quintessentially of that generation of performers.
Yeah.
But what the movie does is it sits there. Like it just sits there in this house with this group of friends as they in large groups, small groups, side rooms, kitchens, um, running through town, like going out to a field where they own the acreage, um, and they are all processing his death, the differences between their relationships now and what they were like when they were all a part of each other's lives in Michigan at in college. Um, the differences between who they thought they were going to be and who they were now.
Yeah.
Um, the differences between what they used to mean to each other and what they mean to each other. Um, what it's like to have kids or not have kids,
Yeah.
and they're deconstructing their 30s over the course of this weekend, and um, the conversations are interesting. They're funny.
Yeah.
Um, there are jokes. There are valid points being made. There are opposite ends of the same idea being sort of thoughtfully presented. Um, and it mean, and Ebert's point that the movie doesn't go anywhere, but maybe not going anywhere is kind of the point of the movie, I think is dead on.
Yes.
Like the weekend end, or the whole movie ends with them trying to kind of coordinate who's going to go to the airport with who.
Yeah.
Like that's just real. Like that's how that weekend ends. You could drag that out a little longer. You can take them to the airport if you want, but you leave them there.
And I
And
love
I think the
that.
last line is like Goldblum is like, "Oh, we're not leaving," like
Yeah.
which is funny. It's like, yeah, of course, because we did that once already, and we saw how it turned out.
I liked the variety of people who were working towards keeping the connection alive and other people wanting to keep the connection but also realizing I'm still stuck in reality. Like I
Mm-hmm.
got my weekend with you finally, but I have a husband and sons to go back to.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, like I don't know, I just in a weird way, this all felt so realistic and honest to me. I
Uh
mean,
huh.
I was watching it still going like, I cannot imagine being so close to a group of people that we're all, not everyone, but like we're all just okay trading partners. Not like swingers necessarily, but just one of them wants to have a kid. You want mine? Like, want my partner to help you seed? Like, some of this was I don't want to say unrealistic because I'm like this feels real for someone out there.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
just this is so different, and it also, I mean, I was joking with Walter earlier, and I said, say what you want about the boomers, but they were kinky fuckers.
Some of them were.
Like
These fuckers were.
these fuckers were.
They've been doing a lot of drugs too. Um,
Oh my
but
god,
not, but
a lot
not
of
like I thought the drug use in this movie was interesting because um, it was constant and it was on purpose,
mm-hmm.
but it wasn't it's so weird, like for a movie where one character like spills a bunch of pills in his chair and then another character sits in them, and
Yeah.
then where like he's doing blow um before the funeral. um there's lots of weed being smoked by everybody. There's wine, there's booze, um there's like there's a scene um uh where what's her ass is tired but she doesn't want to go to bed,
Yeah.
and William Hurt's like, oh, if you don't want to go to bed, come with me, and they leave the room, and then like 20 minutes later they're the only two people still awake because they clearly went and did coke. And like, so for all of those things that I just said that happen on camera, the drug use is not super overt either.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like she's going
Right.
like she's just like she's sitting in bed and she won't let her partner go to sleep because she's fucking keyed up,
She's climbing
and
over him.
she's climbing over him and she's playing with the blanket and she just has all this nervous energy. But they don't ever, like, they leave it up to us to make that connection. because they don't
Yeah.
say, "Hey, let's go do some blow."
Yeah.
He's just like, "Come with me. You don't want to go to sleep? Come with me." And then like you see that they are definitely not going to sleep, and you go, "I get it. I see what happened there." Um, but it's not so like the taking of the drugs happens on screen. The way people act differently when they're on those drugs happens on screen, but it's incidental
Yeah.
to what's happening in the story. Um, and that is, I think that, I mean, I think that's pretty fucking boomer, to be honest with you. But because like I have never spent a weekend with people doing that many drugs just that casually. I mean, Jesus,
Right?
like it was a lot of drugs. Um,
Like I would definitely come home and like, you visit the one friend who like, oh, you've got weed, great, let's toke up. And then it became legal and it was like, ah, well, we can still
right,
toke up, but now we can do it legally.
right, yeah. Now we don't have to
Like
be in the basement.
I still don't, yeah, I still don't have like, it's funny. I don't have like, I feel like I'm the weed person now amongst my friends.
Oh, I kind of am. Yeah. Um,
I'm fine with that.
no, I'm totally fine with that. But I'm not the um, let me choose a pill out of my rattler here and just take it. You know,
Yeah,
like,
that
oh, are these lewds?
I know. When I was comparing myself earlier, saying I was closest to Nick, I'm like, aside from the drugs, because I have never been anywhere near any of the rest of that. Like,
I know.
I somehow I have managed to go my this far in my life without being offered anything other than weed. It's wild.
Yeah, it is. I mean, none of those things have ever been my scene. So, you know, but like you watch it and it's interesting to see how it's depicted in movies and differently in movies.
Yeah,
Um, and it is part of the fabric of their relationship. This amount of drug taking.
yeah,
For fucking Nick, way more than everybody else. Um, like Nick is masking his shit. He is coping with his drug use. It is to help him get through the fact that he is a lost soul
yeah,
in this movie. He used to be a like Frasier, like on the
yes,
radio, and like felt like shitty about like what he had. Like he's like, I didn't make a difference. I was just snap judgments on people 45 seconds, acting like I know them. And but then Chloe is like, you really helped me. Like I called
yeah.
in your show once, and I was in high school, and you told me to make sure that I got enough sleep and I did my homework, and you were right. And like from his point of view, that was like one more useless toss off conversation he had that proved that his professional choices were a waste of his and everyone else's time. And
Yeah,
for her, it was um, something that really helped. And like that was pretty interesting to me. But he's a lost puppy, this dude. But they all kind of are.
they
Like
are in their
like there's
own
not
way.
any of them like so Kevin Kline and Glenn Close are married, Harold and Sarah, and they're like on the verge of like a real windfall. Like all of their hard work is about to pay off, and it's already paid off because like they bought a shit ton of property.
Yeah,
Um, and like they can just call and get you want some Adidas, I get you some Adidas and New Balance. Not you
yeah.
want some Nike? I'll get you six and a half or seven. Your feet get fatter when you grow, when you get old, Meg.
Oh, oh,
Um, like he's just hooking them up, and like things are good for them. They've got kids, and like, but they're not like I don't know. I guess what I don't know what you should expect people to look like who are in that position, but I think we're shown that they don't look the way we should expect them to look. when everything's going okay?
Well, I think the TV they were raised on made it all seem like this is the life to be
Yeah.
married and have a house and kids and work. And oh, now it's the 80s, so women can work too. Women can have it all.
Mm.
Uh everything this is where it's crazy because like I love TV and yet it's also the source of so many dysfunctions
Well,
because
misperceptions of reality, sure.
exactly, like I love there was I think it was Nick, but it doesn't matter. Someone said it at one point like no one ever said it was going to be fun and I thought fuck,
Mm-hmm.
you're right. No one did say that, but they sure as fuck made it seem like did they make it seem that way? No.
No, at least they
Like
never said it to me. Yeah. um.
there's a lot of heavy shit in this.
Yeah, but but it's not handled heavily.
No, it's
It's handled. It's almost too surface level. You know what I mean? Like there's a
but it's a
glibness to the
weekend.
dialogue, and but I mean the conversations. They never dig super deep. They probe the surface of some stuff. And I
I
think they
think
do
that's
an interesting.
realistic.
I I think
To
it
this
is too,
generation,
but most people who aren't me aren't that clever. You know what I mean? Like the dialogue's pretty clever,
yeah.
and it has this like blend of cleverness and wit, and like something that seems like it should be depth, but it's not really that deep. It's about a quarter inch down. Um,
Fair
but
enough.
because it is pithy and witty and funny, um, and drug addled, one assumes, um, it like it has a patina of depth that it maybe doesn't really earn.
Mm,
Um, but I kind of don't care. Like I think that's a legitimate criticism, but I don't think it scuttles the project in any way because I still really enjoyed this movie
yeah.
and I really enjoyed what it was digging around in. You know, like this movie was it felt interested in the messiness of it,
Hmm.
but not like super interested because it's still um like my one memory of this movie from the first time I saw it, aside from the dancing in the kitchen scene, is that uh Glenn Close that Sarah lets Meg sleep with Harold to impregnate her. I remember that from my first viewing, but my memory of it, Splendor in the Grass wise, is that it was a big problem after he did it. Like
Interesting.
that it was a thing she regretted, that it was
Mm,
this weight in their marriage. Like I had all of this, none of that happens. Like
no,
she's very happy
she's
that
so
she
happy.
let her husband do this for their friend.
Yeah.
Like she's she's so pleased about it while it's happening and she's hanging with Jeff Goldblum on the couch. She's happy about it the next morning. Like she is contented in this decision that I think we are meant to, as just lame stains, to think is pretty risque and out there as a choice.
Yeah. And yet, I don't know. I've really been just digging around in my brain on this because I had, you know, initially my reaction was like, that's so weird. How?
Uh huh.
And then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I mean, I like kink communities aside, I mean, I don't know. There are close groups out there. I like it's so foreign to me to have
Mm-hmm.
this kind of friend dynamic that I'm like again, I don't think it doesn't exist, but I
It's
also
not.
I can't even
It's
talk
not
about
the
it.
norm.
It's certainly not it's very uncommon. I mean, to
Yeah.
the I just, as you were talking about it, I thought, if I ever got to be so lucky as to meet Glenn Close, I think I would want to talk to her about this role and go, can you tell me you found, like, how you found it for your character to be so happy in this moment? Because it does not seem the most logical. Like,
Yeah.
some joy, yes, maybe. Um, and I like that they weren't going to go for a messy part and have her like regret it afterwards or make it be like, now I'm absolved from sleeping with Alex.
Right.
Um, but I would just love to know what was your thought process there? How did you get to this place to be able to play it that way?
Yeah. Yeah. Because she also has um one of the more interesting moments of vulnerability in this movie,
Yes.
because she has a nude scene where she is sobbing on the floor of the shower.
Yeah.
Like, it is um it's raw,
Yeah.
and it's the way that shit feels. And it's like there's just full titties in this thing. And like, but in a movie where so many people are having sex with each other for just whatever horny ass reasons they're doing it, or you know, procreational reasons, um like the only real nudity is that moment of brokenness that she feels. And she has this emotional arc
Yeah.
from that level of sadness. Like, she starts the movie crying and she ends the movie crying, but they are different tears.
Yeah.
You know, like, she has tears of, I don't know if they're joy or if they're relief or if they're like connection at the end of this movie. And her tears are how we know things are bad at the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I get why she was nominated. It's Glenn fucking Close. She's great.
Yeah. Always nominated, never a winner.
But this is why you go, oh, I understand why people think Glenn Close is great. You know, like, if you ever wondered what the fuss was, like, and not that we, because you know this is not our first Glenn Close rodeo. You know,
No.
um, we watched some other '80s Glenn Close shit. Guys, go listen to it. Um,
Yeah.
this is a bunny involved.
No.
Fucked up. Um,
I will
different
not
type
be
of
ignored, Dan.
different kind of kitchen scene going on there.
Yeah.
Shouts to
Oh
James
my.
Eckhouse for being in Feral
Oh
Trap.
yeah.
I know, right? Um, there were a couple of things in here that I don't know. I'm a little bit all over the place with this, but that happens to us, to me, and my brain. Um, there was one thing that he said. I can't even remember who said it, but it was the Jeff Goldblum was having this conversation with, I don't remember who. You can remind me if you remember. Um, but maybe it was with William Hurt, where he was like, we've known each other for a long time. One of them, and he's like, no, we haven't. A long time
Oh,
ago, we knew each other for a short period of time.
it's it's kind of a mix between it's happening between Jeff Goldblum, uh, William Hurt, I believe, and then is it Tom Berenger who plays Sam?
Yeah,
Okay, it's
yeah,
between those three because
between those three. Okay,
yeah.
yeah, and I thought that's fucking interesting, and I think that's kind of at the heart of what the movie is like, have we been friends a long time, or were we once friends?
Ugh.
And I think that's really interesting. And I think that, and I don't, where do you think this movie lands on that argument? I don't know that I have an answer, but where
I think it depends on the person. I think there are definitely people within this friend group who have strong connections.
Mm-hmm.
And as as someone who is more often than not the one contacting other people and keeping in touch with them and not vice
Sure.
versa, I very much feel Sam. I have friends like Sam who's like, I've missed you all. I've loved you. Like, I love you all. Like,
Right.
I feel like you all might be the truest friends I've ever had. But Nat, you lose touch with people,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very much not always on purpose.
Right.
Um, I still have to remind myself not to take it personally when
Uh-huh.
people
Yeah.
don't respond within a couple days, within a day. But
I've
like,
got I have a friend whose birthday was the other day. And so I texted him happy birthday. The last the last time I texted him was last birthday, and he never replied to that one either. I don't know if he's mad at me. I kind of don't care. Like, that's his business. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it'll become my business if he wants to have a conversation about whatever is happening. I don't
yeah,
know. It very likely has nothing to do with me. Most things don't, shockingly. But you know, like he there was a period of time where that was my best friend.
oh,
And you know, like we've gone through some shit. It's been a long time. Just like these guys, we've gone through some shit. Like, we lost a good friend to suicide. Like,
yeah,
I spent the night at his house after the funeral. Like, it God, there was too much Pink Floyd being played that night. It was not okay.
oh,
I needed fucking Marvin Gaye, I think, but I got Pink Floyd, and that was real hard to deal with. Um,
because some of us like to wallow.
it was too creepy for me.
That's
Like,
fair.
I don't find Dark Side of the Moon to be creepy now, but at 19, in that circumstance, um, sleeping someplace I don't normally sleep with music on, which is not my norm. Oh
Yeah,
man, it did not help my frame of mind.
yeah,
Um, but like, all of that is to say, like, I don't I still feel a deep connection to him. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Even though it's probably more true that a long time ago we were really close for a short period of time than it is to say that we've been friends for a long time.
yeah.
You
That
know?
that is a tough thing for me to think about and reconcile with, and yet, here we are. Like, you know, there are definitely those friends. Uh, I'm I mean, the people I think I've said it before to you, but like, the people I'm close with from high school are not people I hung out with in high school, oddly enough.
Uh,
Like, I did shows with them, but we weren't
mhm.
super close. And like, I love that we're close now,
Yeah,
because unfortunately, a lot of the close friendships I had withered away, or, I'll be honest, politics killed a lot of friendships. And
sure.
I'm okay with that. Like,
Yeah.
it
I mean,
sucks
that.
because, like, you were close for a time, and that's
Mhm.
okay. And that's why it ends up being okay. Then you have to sever whatever was left.
Because I mean, and this is a conversation that I had with Liam when he was in kindergarten. I was like, look,
Oh,
the people who are your friends right now, they might not be your friends in first grade or fifth grade or eighth grade. They might be again, because people do this. They change. Like, they go through,
or just
we all
your
change, and our relationships
your
with each other change.
your location changes.
Uh huh. Sure.
And some people are just not hardwired to keep in touch. You have to be in their field of vision in order for them to care and to keep in touch. And like, that is something I still struggle with. I'm like,
Yeah.
honestly, any show I get into now, I'm like, I'm not getting close with any of y'all. Like, I hope I just want us all to like work well, get along. That's fine. But like,
Uh-huh.
for me to expect any kind of, I don't know. I've kind of given up on finding my swingers crew, on finding, like all the people I hear from that SNL, like Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, all of them who found each other. I'm just like, I think that died with Gen X. I
Mm,
just I don't
maybe.
hear about I don't hear of any millennial celebrities saying like, "Oh yeah, we all met each other at this time." And I don't know. I think that group dynamic is gone.
Yeah, maybe. Um, so I wonder if you showed this to someone who was Gen Z, if it would land. Here's. I think you got to wait 10 years. I don't
Yeah.
think you can. I don't think this movie can land for someone in their 20s. I just don't. I don't see how it's possible. Like, you don't have enough of that. Um, there's this there's this concept I've been playing around with in my head. I don't know if I've said it out loud to you, but it's what this movie is kind of about. Um, it's instead of looking back at when you were in high school and talking about this thing that happened, whatever this thing is. Um, if you look back at it as your blank experience, it contextualizes it in a much more global way.
Hmm.
By which I mean, like, instead of like looking back at like your first heartbreak, right? And the specifics of how whatever, like that it's like that it's this thing that only you lived through. If you
Hmm.
look back at it as your first love experience,
Hmm.
everyone has a first love experience.
Yeah.
Everyone has a first death. Everyone has a regret experience. Everyone has a moving on experience and a reconnecting experience and a college experience and a disillusionment experience. And lots of people have a parenting experience. Like, if you put it in that framework, it is suddenly something that we share,
Yeah.
even across generations, even in the difference between 1994 and when did you graduate high school?
2008.
2008. Yeah, so even if you're talking about that, we each had a first love experience. We have
Yeah.
each had a moving on experience. Like, that's what I think that's why this movie works, is because it gives you very specific examples of these people's disillusionment experience.
Hmm.
But that's all it is. It's just their blank experience. And if you watch it and you go, I remember when I uh, saw my first love again 20 years later. I remember
Mm.
my reconnection experience, whatever,
Yeah.
So when those characters express that, you go, yeah. Or no, I think the other one. I agree with the other guy in your conversation. Um and I think, like, from that lens, this movie, I think, works really, really well across generations. But until you've had your blank experience, you're not going to connect to it. That's why I don't think it would work for people in their 20s. I think you got to get a little
I mean,
more of those blank experiences.
I think you need to I think you need to experience life after college because
Sure.
they they talk so much about how like, well, yeah, we were in this delightful bubble, and then life happens,
Hmm.
I forget what exactly William Hurt says, but it's just like, look, life is going to happen no matter what. Like, you might as well accept it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what they're doing. You know,
Yeah.
through a series of conversations, they're this movie is a generational self-examination.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, hey, we all did that. You know, we all went through that thing, and because Gen X, because the boomers think their poop is made of rainbows, like it's they think that like they're the ones who invented this shit, and it's just because they're the ones who put it on camera first in this way. Um,
Right.
but it's
I
not
mean,
it. It's only in a couple of specific ways generationally boomer. Mostly, what it is just your generation as it grows.
well, and it's so funny because I came away from this movie feeling like not only that I understood boomers more, but I also understood, this is how we get Gen X. I
Yeah, we're a
understand.
reaction to a lot of this shit.
Oh my God, you are. I mean, I really wanted you to watch the first 5 minutes of the Dawson's Creek episode, and I was like, I think you got too much stuff going on, and it's not that important. But I mean,
And I've
just
seen it. I don't
well,
remember it,
yeah,
but I've seen it.
and it's my 90210, so it's fine.
Sure.
But the cynicism, the the going back and forth, and they discuss in this movie at one point, like, I don't know, have we become too cynical? And I'm like, yes, because you're
Mm-hmm.
about to create, and I love
So
Gen
many
X.
problems.
You're you're about to. I mean, again, everything is reactionary, and like, it doesn't matter what you do. It's going to create some kind of reaction, and there are
Yeah.
going to be pros and cons to it. Like, listen, without the cynicism of grown-up boomers, we don't get Daria. We don't get
Sure.
Dawson's Creek.
Right.
So, thank you, boomers, for briefly being helpful.
I
You,
mean, I
I
guess.
wish you hadn't stopped.
I mean, yeah. Like, the thing for me with this is like, I am like 3 years older than that little kid singing Jeremiah was a bullfrog in the bathtub. You know? Like
Yeah,
in 1983, I was 7. That kid's like 4. You know?
yeah,
So this movie is about my parents and their
yeah,
generation. Um, I never would have thought of it that way. Like if I'd seen it in the 90s when I was in my, 20s, early 20s. I never went, probably when I did see it. Um, I never would have thought of it as a movie about my parents' generation, but fuck if it isn't. I mean, the music
yeah.
should have done that to me. But um I don't know. It's just I think it I think it works really well, this movie.
I do too.
Even though I'm as far removed now from their characters' age as their characters are from their college age. You know?
Wow.
Like it's just sort of so I look back at their struggles in their mid 30s and go, yeah, I did that. Yeah, I had that. I went through that. Sure, I did. Fuck yeah, I did. One way or another, some aspect of that. Like, yeah, that tracks. I feel, but also I look back at it the way they look back at college because it was so long ago, and because I've had
Boy.
other shit since then.
Yeah.
Like there's things that 34-year-old me did not know were possible, like good
I
and
worry
bad.
about that all the time. I'm like, I do not want to look back on this time with any any bit of romanticism, because like I have a problem with looking back on other bad times with like, oh, kind of wish I could go back to that because I got through it and I just want to
Right.
know that I'm going to get through it. Like, and of course
Yeah.
I will, but
Right.
then I'm going to go through the next thing and be like, oh man, my 30s went so bad. And like, I'm so scared of what that's going to look like, Jeff, if I think my 30s weren't that bad.
You know what it's going to look like? It's going to look the same with just different clothes on. Like this shit goes in cycles. You like the last month, I have not enjoyed myself. Like I
Mm.
hope you couldn't tell on the last 8 or so episodes of the pod, because I do enjoy myself doing this. But like just shit's happening, and I am stressed and I'm anxious. And
Yeah.
one of the things that I keep but I'm doing a pretty good job of continuing on with the things that are important to me, like this. Like I'm making really good progress on like act 3 of a book.
Mm.
And like I'm getting close to it's going to take me longer to finish it than I want, because that's just the way it goes. But it's not like when I finish this book, I'll have done a thing and I'll feel so good that I accomplished it. It's not that. It is because I've done this dance before. I've done these cycles before. There's a good chance that in 4 months I'm pretty anxious about something.
Mm.
Whatever, doesn't matter what it is. It's not like I'm not thinking of anything specific. I'm just thinking like, there's no
Yeah.
guarantee that whatever is happening now, I'm going to be like, everything's great come March, even though it's not going to be as cold. Um,
Oh.
like that, I'll be thumbs up for.
Yeah.
But I keep thinking in March, when I'm anxious about whatever March shit is happening, I could be someone who has finished a book or not. I'd kind of like to have finished the book.
Yeah.
I'd like to be there with that, because that is not going to stop the other thing, but I can have both of those things at the same time instead of just the anxiety part, you know? So why not do that? And it doesn't make me feel better right now, because I still feel pretty shitty right now. But
I mean,
like I could do that. And
that's
that idea is comforting to me.
yeah. No, I get it. No, you're way better at hiding stuff than I am because I masked for years and now my body's just like, I can't do it. Um, I'm I'm better at like not spewing out everything to people
Mm-hmm.
that's going on because one, that's exhausting. For both parties.
Right.
But at the same time, like, I don't know, I'm very much okay with letting people know that I'm not okay. You
I
know.
am too, which is why I'm fucking saying it here. Um, but I'm also like,
Finally.
but it's also like, but I'm also legitimately enjoying these moments,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm really enjoying where we are in season 5, because some shit's about to go down, you guys. Like I'm enjoying rewatching The Big Chill and having a whole conversation about it. Even while like 4 hours ago, I was like a ball of nerves about
Yeah.
other stuff, you know? And then I was like, shit, I better stop doing that and take my kid to the doctor because he's got the flu.
Yeah.
Like, and they talk about that in this movie. Like, having kids clarifies your priorities. It doesn't make you feel any better sometimes,
Yeah.
but it clarifies your priorities. And I'm like, right now, I don't get to be like moping about my own shit. I got to take my kid to the doctor.
Yeah.
And then I got to go and pick up his prescription. Oh, it's not ready? Okay, well, we'll come back. Oh, the pharmacy was out? Okay, now I need to move it to another pharmacy. I can do that. I'll do that. And
Boy.
then it doesn't, it's fine. We're just going to, you'll start the medication an hour later than you were going to start it. It's okay. But it gives you things to do.
Yeah.
And it gives you things to do that you have to do because you're a parent,
Yeah.
and because you fucking love your kid and you don't want them sick, and you want to, you know, like I was supposed to have a work call, and I was like, like just to sort of like, process some stuff. I was just going to talk to somebody, and they were like, "You ready to talk?" And I was like, "No, can't. Got to take my kid to the doctor. Sorry, we can talk tomorrow." Um, and it's like I really want to have that conversation, but not right now, because not right now. Now, right now, there's something I have to do that's more important than having that conversation. Even though that conversation is going to be very important to me.
Yeah.
Um, it's a conversation I need to have, like, emotionally and mentally. I just got to like process some shit. I just got to talk about it.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't fix it, I got to talk about it. I'm really looking forward to doing that. But not right now. Right now, I got to take my kid to the doctor.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So, yay, the movie clarifying. Um,
Validating.
yeah. Adventures in Intimacy.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just start with where we something we'd already touched on because I've I often think about moments in life when you're just naked and it's not for a
Uh huh.
sexual reason. And I often think about like,
There's nothing I do that's not for sexual reasons. But go ahead.
okay, I think about like how one would depict that either on screen, on stage, and how do you have it not be sexualized?
Yeah.
You have this very real and raw moment. Like, I don't know about you, I've definitely sobbed in the shower. Uh,
Sure. Fuck yeah.
you know, 10 out of 10 recommend, great place. But like, does
It's
it
I recommend it more than having sex in the shower. Just 100%. It's way safer. There's a lot smaller chance that you're gonna slip and fall and one of you break a hip or something.
I'll just say, yeah, like crying in the shower is much easier than having sex in the shower. I'm sorry, but it is.
It
And
doesn't matter if you don't have good foot purchase if you're crying. But the other thing it does, it really kind of does, and it's fucking wet. I don't recommend it.
it'll do in a pinch.
Mm.
Um,
I'll pinch you in the shower. No problems there. I won't fall over.
you will when I.
Oh, well, not you. I mean,
I know.
Sheesh.
That'd be weird.
Weirdo.
Anyway,
Yep.
you know, in in telling this very real story, I mean, you can't control that some people are going to be like, "Ooh, titties." Um,
Right. Right.
but like, do you think you're able to tell that kind of story and not have it hypersexualized?
Yeah, because that didn't feel hypersexualized to me.
Okay,
It felt raw,
for sure.
you know. Um yeah, no, it did, like, those were not sexy boobs. Those
No.
were those were like, that was someone in their most vulnerable, um ripped wide open
I think it
emotionally.
matters too how she was seated, like,
Uh-huh.
curled up in a ball, kind
Yeah.
of,
Yeah.
whereas if she had been like laying sexily and
If she'd been posed like Meg Tilly while she was stretching.
good God.
Yeah. That I was so jealous of her stretching. God, oh,
You
to be that
This is
limber.
why I felt bad about myself. And I have to constantly tell myself, hey, you're still limber and strong for your age.
We're all supposed to look
Yourself.
at Meg Tilly and go, fuck you for being able to stretch like that and have a conversation at the same time. If I was trying to stretch that, like, that, I'd be like, breathe
Okay.
through it, breathe through it.
And like, fuck you for being a professional dancer and having those boobs. Fuck you.
Right. Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway,
Yep.
intimacy. You know, this is one of those films, or yeah, I would definitely want an icy on the whole time because I mean, there's
Hmm.
constant touching. There are so many relationship dynamics to explore. I mean, what what does a friendship group what does a group of friends look like who have known each other since college and like some have kept in touch, some haven't. I mean, it's really interesting how they talk about they sound in conversation much more distant than they ever are physically. They are
Yeah.
all so huggy with each other.
Uh-huh.
Like I, yeah, and I don't I don't know that this is necessarily intimacy, but in a way it kind of struck me as such and I loved it. Whenever Meg sits down in the car and William Hurt has her lift up and like brush the pills off the seat.
Uh-huh.
I really liked that. Like, and
Hmm.
it wasn't he wasn't like cupping her ass or anything. I don't even know if he really touched her. He just was like, "No, get up, come on," and like
Yeah.
swats. You know,
Yeah.
she holds herself up. There was just something very oddly touching
Uh-huh.
in that delightful mess of a
Yeah.
situation. You know, there's a lot of forehead leaning. uh, Funnily enough, I didn't see a lot of like, cheek kissing like we do on 90210
Yeah.
to a weird extent. Um, just so many close bits, close moments of touching that like I couldn't have written them all down.
I think there's something really interesting about the way that people sit with each other on a couch in this movie.
Yeah,
Because there's lots of different ways they do it. Like there's like they'll lean against each other this way, or there'll like be an arm around somebody, or they'll be like your feet are on her lap,
yeah,
or you're laying your head down, on somebody's lap, or they come up with all of these different ways to be physical with each other on two different couches, basically.
yeah.
And I wasn't paying a lot of attention, but I clearly noticed it. You know.
Same. I feel like I felt it
Mm-hmm.
more than I was conscientious or conscious of seeing it. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and there's clearly something phenomenal about this closeness too, because they're able to just, and it's not everyone sleeping with each other, but there
Mm-hmm.
have clearly been relationships, there have been crushes, the
Mm-hmm.
way they talk about each other is intimate. And I mean, Meg saying, like, these are the best guys I know. I love them all. And like, I don't think we really find out much about what happened between her and Michael, but like, there's history. There's
Right.
so much intimacy in the way they talk about each other. Like, oh, well,
Mm-hmm.
Michael's not going to work. So, because of, there's just too much history there. Um, I forget what else someone said about another person. I was like, oh, that's incredibly intimate. Um,
I
but
mean,
yeah,
could you imagine if there had been um if 90210 had come back in, I don't know, 2010, and the characters had been in their 30s, and they were thinking back on these college experiences that we're watching them have right now. And the ones we're about to watch them have where holy fuck, some crazy shit happens. Um God, that would be hilarious. The big chill of 90210 characters.
oh, good
Um
grief.
but like that's what we're watching here. We're watching the aftermath of their college years 10 years later.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
I mean, how do you physically tell that story? How do you show the love?
Mm-hmm.
How do you tell the story of the loves that they all experience with each other? And like, how do you how do you tell the story of one husband sleeping with a a life not a lifelong yeah, a lifelong friend. A
Mm-hmm.
lifelong friend at the encouragement of his wife. That's very interesting. It's
Yeah.
astonishing. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if anything, I think that might be the most fairy tale like element of this. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, I'm sure it does, but we only get to see post coitus.
Right.
You know,
Well, no, I mean
there
we
will
do. They kiss. They're topless. He's on top of her.
that's
They show
true.
us the
I just
scene.
mean like no, that's true. So I'm just thinking about the aftermath too. Like,
Uh-huh.
but that's okay because that's not the point of this. Like, this is a byproduct of a weekend wherein everyone just wants to feel close to each other again. Everyone wants to, honestly, it makes sense why they're all so touchy because they all feel so alone.
Yeah.
And so, and because Sam puts it best by saying, I don't have this with anyone else. Out in LA, everyone just wants something from me. Or
Right.
like, I don't feel I can trust them.
Yeah.
Um,
By the way, shouts to Sam for trying to jump into the car.
oh my God. When
That
he
was so
did that, I
funny.
went, of course. I laughed. I was like, of course you fucking idiot.
He
Like
landed so wrong. Like just his approach was really not going to work.
it reminded me of the time as a kid I tried to jump over the couch like they do in 90s TV. And I did
Sure.
exactly what he did. I hurt my leg, and my friend was
Yeah.
like, do I need to go tell your mom? And I went, no, I'll get in trouble.
I mean, look, you're looking at a Dukes of Hazzard kid. Like the number of times I tried to slide across the hood of a car and like get in through an open window when I could have opened the door, but they're look, those doors they're welded shut because they're race cars. You get in through the window. I got in and out of cars through windows all through the 80s.
Damn.
A lot. So relatable.
You know, going back to will the stories be undercut by sexy body parts? Kevin Kline is wearing some very short shorts and showing all
Very
leg.
early 80s shorts. Yeah.
I'm sure it is, but it's a little distracting, and I was just like, what the fuck are you wearing underneath to keep
Mm-hmm.
things from not popping out? Like,
I know. You kissed
glad
Tom
I'm
Selleck in those shorts? Sheesh.
um oh, I liked the scene between when Meg is first trying to get with Nick, William Hurt's character, and they have, all of the kisses, everyone is so down to kiss each other in this, and not in like a they're all horny for each other. They just love each other. And
Mm-hmm.
it's quite nice.
Yeah.
But he gently pushes her off his lap and is like, "Did I ever tell you about what happened in Vietnam?" And just that scene
Yeah.
was so great. I just like how he gently pushes her off, like, "No, honey, this can't happen." And
Right.
then also I need to tell you, or like, I don't need to, but I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah.
So
And then
I
there are
like,
bats upstairs.
well, just the fact that she screams.
Yep. He's like, who the fuck
um
is screaming? Oh, it's whoever just got the bat in their hair. Jesus.
Glenn Close and Kevin Kline, since they're supposed to be like the happiest couple in this, and I would say that they are.
Yeah.
They're not without their problems, but like I love whenever he's running up the stairs to go deal with the bat, and he just grabs her by the waist and you know plants one on her. I don't know, just
Yep. I'm gonna go be heroic now.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
so silly, and like they could easily seem performative, and yet they don't. Like there is
Mm-hmm.
true love there. But my favorite moment, like I think my favorite hookup in this, because there's lots of hooking up. Um, I loved Sam and Karen's moment whenever they're outside and like
Yeah, like
she
by a
leans,
pier or something. Almost.
yeah, she
Yeah, yeah.
leans into this pole, and like they kiss with the longing of we have waited to do this for years, followed by a few other little kisses afterwards. But then it gets broken up with like I think reality of the situation, and I mean eventually they get to hook up, and I was like, yay, because I endorse messy choices on film,
There you go.
fiction, sometimes. Anyway.
A lot of caveats there, but that's okay.
So there was a lot of good stuff in this. Obviously the kitchen dancing scene might not really need an IC, but again, I mean there's a lot of twirling, there's a lot of touching, there's
Mm-hmm.
kissing in it as well. So, at least it's easier in that sense, like, oh, well, and on this beat you're gonna kiss.
Right.
Um You know,
Yeah.
it's fun, it's playful, and it's definitely the most iconic moment of this movie.
And it is May Needle Drop Forest. Um,
Nice.
yeah. Here's, but I had a different thought about it this time than in like, like my memory of this scene is what it is, which is a bunch of people uh, cleaning up after a dinner, and one of them puts on "Ain't Too Proud to Beg," and they all dance to it because Motown is awesome.
Yeah.
It's so fun to dance to. Um, the music is great, and the scene is joyous, right?
Yeah.
But it is when the soundtrack of your college years becomes the soundtrack of cleaning up after dinner.
Yeah.
And that's also what that scene is. Thematically, that's what that scene is. It's both of those things at the same time. It is this, man, didn't we have some great fucking tunes? Like,
Yeah.
isn't Motown the best? When you put this on, don't you want to dance? Of course you do, because it's fucking great. But it's also, when we used to dance to this song, we were at a party, we were at a bar, we were at a concert, we were not cleaning up the salad. And that's what this movie is about. It's we're doing the same shit we used to do, but now we're doing it while we clean up the salad.
Yeah, and for millennials, it's going to be Instinct's "Bye Bye Bye" probably, or
Oh
Backstreet's
no,
"Back."
it's gonna be May eventually. Um,
"Bye Bye Bye"
yeah.
has been
So the
fantastic.
soundtrack of this movie is great. The boomer of it is great. I love Motown. This is because I'm that kid in the tub. This is the music I grew up listening to. You
Mm,
know, like I also had my own, like, 1983. I am I am playing Thriller till that tape doesn't work anymore.
nice.
Like I've got the music of my time as well. Um, but I was mainlining Motown. I mean, my dad loved doo-wop. Like, give me the Drifters, give me Little Anthony. Like, I grew up on all that shit. I love that. Give me more Marvin Gaye, everybody.
Always, always
Always
more
more
Marvin
Marvin Gaye.
Gaye.
Um, so, but like, the music of my college years is being played in grocery stores, and it's probably too old to be played in most grocery stores now. You know,
It is. It is weirdly unsettling to me how much I am being catered, how much we are being catered to
uh huh.
with like 90s memorabilia and aughts, just all of these aesthetics from both of our childhoods, oddly enough, being popular again.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't, why, it's not like I don't love that aesthetic, but because I'm very much aware of where we are in time, I don't like being lied to, and I don't like being made to feel like it can feel this way again. Not right now.
Sure, it can. It just
Not
has to
right.
feel that way while you're cleaning up the salad.
You know, it's funny. I read somewhere recently that the music that you listened to in high school and college is foundational to you, and usually the stuff that you go back to the most. And oddly enough, I don't find that to be true for me. Like,
Chris Rock framed it slightly differently. Um, Everyone thinks that the best music was the music that was playing the first time they got laid.
interesting.
Like, not the music specifically during that act, but like when whatever age you were where that was going on, that is your favorite music.
No.
Yeah, you're weird then, for at least according to his thing.
I am weird. I've discovered more music genres since then.
Sure.
Um, because I
But
was
do they hit the
hardcore.
same way? Do they have the same emotional resonance?
It's weird. I don't listen to a lot of music from that time
Mm.
anymore. I did recently revisit the script and I was like, oh yeah. And the fray, and I was like, oh yeah, these do hit. These
Hmm. Yeah.
these are good. Um, but like, I don't know. I just don't listen to musicals the way that I used to.
Mm.
Um, so I'm sure they would definitely still hit the way, they did then.
Yeah.
But it's uh and according to Spotify anyway, I my listening age is 73. So apparently I'm the
Oh,
same age as these people,
there you go.
all because I listened to Let It Be for like a month.
I don't use Spotify, so I don't get that. I don't listen
Smart.
to music on it, so I don't know what my music age is. It's my algorithm's fucked because I got a 14-year-old, and he
You know,
logs onto my account and plays things like while I'm
the,
driving. So
both Spotify and YouTube have me all wrong because they're like, you're so upbeat and shiny based on what you listen to. And I'm like, I am trying to feel better.
right, right.
It's it's called I'm I'm trying not to wallow.
It's called coping, motherfucker.
No shit. Um Speaking of coping, I really loved the needle drop of you can't always get what you want.
Sure. Again, a
Um
little on the nose, but
no, it definitely is, but I don't care. Like
yeah, because if it works, it works.
it does. And it could be so much worse in terms of,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I liked it and I think it was important because it sets up the theme later on of like no one said this was going to be fun. At
Mm-hmm.
least not to me.
Yep.
So
Also, the Rolling Stones are on an episode of 90210 this season, so
oh yeah, because
direct
I just
spelling
watched
connections.
the birth of Peach Pod or Peach Pit After Dark.
Yes,
So
you did. All right. Before we get to that, though, what else time? Is this anyone's defining role?
I'm sure some of the I'm sorry, but anyone not Glenn Close and Kevin Kline, uh it could be because I've seen Mary Kay Place in other things.
Uh huh.
Um I've seen Jeff Goldblum in other things. So
I've
yeah,
seen
this
Jeff
obviously isn't.
Goldblum in a million things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh
Berenger
what?
for me is he's in Major League.
Okay.
He's one of the aging ball players in Major League. He's really good. Um, he's like the big
I've seen
swinging
Meg
dick in the
Tilly in other
clubhouse.
things,
Hmm. Yeah.
but I
Um,
don't think I know anyone else in this movie.
um, you've not seen, well, you've seen William Hurt and stuff. I mean, he's
Have
Thunderbolt
I?
Ross. Did you watch the Avengers movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Wait,
Thunderbolt
what?
Ross. Yeah, that's William Hurt.
Oh
The
my
one who
God.
eventually became Harrison Ford because William Hurt died.
Oh
But
wow. Oh, Walter's gonna be even sadder now that he didn't watch The Big Chill with me.
oh, there you go.
Oh, R.I.P. to
Um,
those.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. These Berenger, Glenn Close, Jeff Goldblum, William Hurt, and Kevin Kline. I've seen all of those people in about a million things each. You know, um, I've seen Joe Beth Williams in some stuff, and I know Meg Tilly um, and Jennifer Tilly. Um, Mary Kay Place is like she has a face that I recognize, but I don't have her as anything specifically in my head. Although I should probably look it up because it's probably something super obvious but weird. You
She's in
know,
It's Complicated
which one's that?
with Steve Martin, Alec Baldwin, and Meryl Streep.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Late period Steve Martin.
Yep.
Um, what do you think it means that they started and ended the movie with "Joy to the World"? Because they're singing it in the
Um,
bathtub, and it's the song that plays over the closing credits.
you know what? I'm gonna be a little cynical here, but I think that fits with this movie. I think that is the I think that is that generation's determination to be positive
Mm.
and
You think it's there? Don't worry, be happy.
yeah, because even though they'll admit it to each other, but after this weekend, they are gonna go back to masking a bit more.
Sure.
They will be masking with coworkers. They will be masking with their non-college friends. Like,
Hmm.
you know, I and you know, I mean, you have Kevin Kline's character who really does think like my life is amazing right now. Like, we're great. You know, we were great then, but we're shit now. Like he doesn't
Right.
stand for any of this negative talk. He just, you know, he's not a complete ass about it, but he also just doesn't buy into the self-deprecating speech that they all have about themselves or each other.
Right.
And I think it speaks to their MO. I think they are
Yeah.
determined to be. I mean, my parents, in spite of everything that they have endured, are very much like everything's fine. You know,
Right.
this is just life.
Hmm.
Or I don't know, you know, and there is something good in people who keep going and don't wallow. Um, but to quote Brenda, there's nothing like a good wallow.
Yeah, it's true. All right. What else you got? Anything?
I forgot two other moments that I really liked in
Mm.
intimacy. Um, before Sarah propositions Harold to sleep with Meg, you see her hand reach out of the closet and pull him in.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just fun. They have such fun
Hmm.
intimacy, Glenn Close and Kevin Kline. And then I really loved this. Chloe and Nick at the very end, they have this handhold that was just
Yeah.
lovely, and I love the relationship that grew there. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
handholds are lovely, and they tell they can tell the same story that a kiss tells.
Yeah. Um, I one small moment that made me laugh was when Jeff Goldblum comes down for breakfast after everyone has already left and is like, "You think we're the first ones up?"
Yeah.
That was such a well-timed joke. It just like I was like, "Fuck you." That's so funny. Everybody has literally already run 7 miles this morning, and you're like, "You think anybody else is up yet?"
Yeah, and Glenn
I'm the
Close
early
is
bird.
recovering from. They both were on the most drugs the night before.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Um.
I'm the early bird here, kids.
No.
Whew.
I I wrote down. I'll tell you what I wrote first. I wrote down each generation gets more emotional, and then I xed it out and I was like each generation gets more chatty about emotions, and I
Yeah,
think that's
sure.
true
Yeah.
because it's really funny watching this movie and then having boomer actors tell me and others like, why do you need an intimacy choreographer? That's not how we did it.
Right.
It's well, we didn't do it this way in my day. We just went for it. It's fine. What do you all need an IC for? Sensitive
Nothing.
babies.
You don't need it. It's fine.
And
Just
it's
grab
like,
some
you
titty
know,
and get
you
to
all
work.
I'm sure you're all's your greatest generation parents were like, you need to hear I love you? What?
Yeah. No.
I don't have to love you. I feed you, I clothe you. I'm
That's
gonna go
right.
into my fences rant now. Everyone watch Fences for the greatest monologue. What
Um.
lost? And I got to like you.
Uh. All right. What is this the EST of for you?
Oh my god, I have no this is the most relatable boomer piece of art.
Okay. Okay. For me, it's just the boomerist movie.
There you
Yeah,
go.
it's just straight up boomerish. Um. All right. I think that once again we have proven my theory that everything comes back to Aaron spelling.
Even the big chill.
Even the big chill. Um. Yeah, we went long on this one, but that's okay. I'm all right with it.
I didn't cry.
Hey, there you go.
I'm so
Um.
thrilled.
Yeah. Uh. Neither did I. So join us here on Wednesday, Cheesemeisters, when we watch season 5, episode 5, Rave On, um, where I'm certain we're going to talk about the benefits of smart drinks.
Did he invent vitamin water?
He might have. But you know what? Sanders Management Group just letting the real money slip through their fingers. Um,
I guess.
I mean, Steve goes from mucho marvelous mango margaritas to smart drinks. I don't know. Is there anything more neutered than that? And then join us here next week on Friday, Cheesemeisters, when I don't know what we're going to watch. Maybe something about raves.
Oh
I don't know.
God.
It could be. I don't know.
Something about
We'll have
pot.
to. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's pot. It shouldn't do that. Um, Total pothead.
Can I share real quick
Yeah.
between Stranger Things and seeing how people used to feel about D&D,
Uh-huh.
and also seeing how people are reacting to someone smoke pot on 90210. Like,
Right.
see, this is where I love TV, because I'm getting to be like, I'm getting to time travel basically and go,
Yeah.
oh, these were real sentiments. People felt this
Mm-hmm.
way. Oh,
Yeah.
you, wow, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I knew people weren't into pot smokers, but like, this was
Yeah.
a whole other level of judgy. You okay?
It is. It's super fucking judgy, except for Donna, weirdly, but we're going to talk about it. Um,
Yeah.
So anyway, until then, Cheesemeisters. Cheers.
Cheers.